If you physically pause a movie because a character is about to do something embarrassing, you are not just sensitive, you are experiencing a distinct neurological phenomenon. Your friends might laugh through an awkward scene in The Office, but you might find yourself looking away, covering your eyes, or even leaving the room. For years, people have dismissed this as being too soft or weak-stomached, but they are wrong. Science has finally explained why this happens, and it turns out your brain is actually performing a complex social calculation that most people simply miss. Psychologists call this reaction vicarious embarrassment, and it is fundamentally different from feeling embarrassed for yourself. When you trip in public, you feel shame because your own social status is threatened. But when you watch someone else trip or give a terrible speech, your safety isn't at risk. You are completely safe on your couch, yet your heart rate spikes, your palms might sweat, and your stomach drops. Your body creates a physical stress response to a danger that doesn't exist for you. This phantom reaction is so potent that researchers have found it activates the exact same neural pathways as a direct threat to your own safety. The English language struggles to capture this specific feeling, often defaulting to the slang term cringe. But the Germans, masters of specific emotional vocabulary, have a precise word for it: Fremdschämen. It translates to stranger shame or external shame, describing the sensation of being ashamed on behalf of someone else who is often completely oblivious to their own social failure. This distinction is important. It isn't just about witnessing an awkward moment, it is about taking the burden of that awkwardness onto your own shoulders. While the rest of the world points and laughs, the person experiencing Fremdschämen is involuntarily running a simulation of the victim's pain. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the mirror neuron system. Discovered in the 1990s, these are brain cells that fire, both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform it. If you watch someone stub their toe, your brain's motor cortex lights up, as if it were your toe. For most people, this system is a quiet hum that helps them understand what is happening without feeling it. For those with high vicarious embarrassment, this system is hyperactive. Your brain doesn't just observe the social crash, it simulates the impact. You aren't just watching a bad date. Biologically, you are on the date. In 2011, researchers Soren Kroc and Frieder Paulus conducted a landmark study titled "Your Flaws Are My Pain" to prove that this feeling wasn't just in people's heads. They placed participants in fMRI machines and made them watch a series of deeply embarrassing sketches. Some scenarios were accidental, like tripping, while others were social disasters, like wearing a shirt with a controversial slogan. The results were undeniable. The participants who reported high levels of vicarious embarrassment didn't just show activity in their visual cortex or logic centers. Their brains were lighting up in regions that had nothing to do with observation. The fMRI scans revealed activity in two specific areas: the anterior insula and the anterior cingulate cortex. These names might sound technical, but their function is primal, as these are the regions responsible for processing the affective component of physical pain. When you burn your hand on a stove, these areas light up to tell you to stop doing it. The study showed that watching someone else embarrass themselves triggers this exact same pain matrix. Your brain is not using a metaphor when it says a scene is painful to watch. It is hijacking your physical pain circuitry to process social distress. If you are finding out for the first time that your cringe reflex is actually a biological superpower, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We explore the hidden science of human behavior every single week. Now, let's look at the strangest part of this phenomenon. The 2011 study found something fascinating. You might expect that we feel the most empathy when we watch someone who knows they are embarrassed, like someone blushing or crying. But the opposite is true. The participants' brains showed the highest levels of activation when the person being watched was completely unaware of their embarrassment. Think of a bad singer who believes they are amazing, or a manager making a joke that nobody laughs at. When the victim doesn't feel the pain, your brain compensates by feeling double the amount. You are literally feeling the shame they should be feeling but aren't. This reaction exposes a major difference in how humans experience empathy. Psychologists distinguish between cognitive empathy, the ability to intellectually understand what someone else is thinking, and affective empathy, which is the ability to share their feelings. You can have high cognitive empathy and be a cold, manipulative sociopath because you understand people perfectly but don't feel for them. The cringe response is a sign of extremely high affective empathy. Your boundary between self and other is more porous than average. You aren't just observing data points about another human, you are absorbing their emotional state directly into your own nervous system. So is this a weakness? Absolutely not. Although it might make watching reality TV difficult, this trait is a massive evolutionary advantage in the real world. People with high vicarious embarrassment are exceptional at reading the room. Because their brains are constantly simulating the emotions of others to avoid that painful cringe feeling, they become hyper-aware of group dynamics. They notice the micro-expressions that signal discomfort long before anyone else does. They are the first to change the subject when a conversation gets tense, and the first to notice when someone feels excluded. They are the invisible glue, holding social groups together. This sensitivity acts as a high-speed early warning system. For the average person, a social faux pas has to actually happen before they recognize it. For the vicariously embarrassed, the possibility of a faux pas triggers the alarm. This makes them master diplomats. They unconsciously steer conversations away from dangerous territory because they can physically feel the train wreck coming miles away. In a workplace or a family gathering, these are the people who manage to keep the peace without anyone realizing they are doing it. They aren't avoiding conflict out of cowardice. They are avoiding it because they have already simulated the outcome and know exactly how much it will hurt. Research backs this up. Studies have shown a strong correlation between vicarious embarrassment and prosocial behavior. People who feel high levels of Fremdschämen are more likely to be generous, more likely to volunteer, and more likely to intervene when they see unfairness. It makes sense, as when another person's suffering registers in your brain as your own physical pain, you have a selfish motivation to help them. You help them to stop the pain you are feeling. This suggests that this cringe reflex isn't a glitch. It is one of the primary biological mechanisms that allows human civilization to exist at all. Evolutionarily, this mechanism was likely a matter of life and death. For our ancestors, being kicked out of the tribe meant death. Social rejection was as dangerous as a predator. Therefore, the brain evolved to treat social rule-breaking as a physical threat. Those who could intensely feel the pain of breaking a social norm, even when someone else did it, were much less likely to break those norms themselves. They stayed in line, they kept the tribe cohesive, and they survived. Your inability to watch a cringe compilation on YouTube is actually an ancient survival code, running on modern hardware. However, this superpower comes with a heavy tax. Running a high-fidelity simulation of everyone else's emotional state consumes a massive amount of metabolic energy. This is why people with high affective empathy often suffer from social fatigue. A 2-hour party might exhaust them as much as a full day of physical labor. They aren't just attending the party, they are processing the anxiety of the host, the awkwardness of the guests, and the tension of every interaction. This is also why there is a significant overlap between vicarious embarrassment and social anxiety. When your brain screams danger at every minor social slip-up, the world becomes an exhausting minefield. The question then becomes whether you can or should fix it. Exposure therapy is a common treatment for phobias, and in theory, forcing yourself to watch The Office or Curb Your Enthusiasm could lower your sensitivity. But psychologists argue that you shouldn't try to numb this completely. Although you can learn to manage the anxiety so it doesn't paralyze you, the core sensation is valuable. It is your connection to humanity. Trying to kill your capacity for vicarious embarrassment is essentially trying to kill your capacity for deep empathy. The goal isn't to stop feeling it, but to recognize that the pain signals are false alarms, since you are safe, even if the person on screen isn't. This trait is harder to manage today than ever before because we live in the golden age of cringe. The internet has commodified embarrassment. Viral videos, reality TV, and social media fail compilations are designed specifically to trigger this reaction for engagement. For a person with high vicarious embarrassment, scrolling through TikTok can feel like walking through a minefield of psychological stressors. We are exposing our Stone Age brains, which were designed to handle the embarrassment of a tribe of 50 people, to the embarrassment of billions. It is a sensory overload that our empathy circuits were never built to handle. If you are someone who looks away during awkward moments, you need to stop viewing it as a defect. In a world that is becoming increasingly disconnected and narcissistic, your brain is wired for connection. You carry a biological mandate to care about the social standing of others, even strangers you will never meet. That physical discomfort you feel is the price of admission for deep emotional intelligence. You are not weak for feeling someone else's pain. You are one of the few people keeping the human capacity for shared experience alive. The next time you reach for the remote to pause a humiliating scene, don't force yourself to watch it. Accept that your brain is simply working harder than everyone else's. You possess a rare and vital social engine that drives human connection. If this deep dive into your brain's hidden wiring resonated with you, I'd love to have you in our community, so click that subscribe button so we can keep exploring the human mind together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.